Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video, I'm going to walk through the Nasdaq, some of the major stocks in the Nasdaq that I have positions in, and how that all ties together with my trade of the week with some KWEB ETF names. Now, one of the things we've been talking about for a while is the inverse relationship between the Nasdaq, US internet stocks, and the KWEB, Chinese internet stocks. And I'd like to start thinking a little bit more bullishly on the NAS now that it's taken out the 6,000 level and we're starting to see some intraday uptrends. The one that I've had my eye on that we talked about in the chat room today is the 120, looking for a 120 continuation off the wave, and the zone that we could focus on between the 34 EMA on the high and 34 EMA on the low. And ultimately, could we see an oversold buy on the 120? I would not rule that out off the 60.3750 area, 60.3750. So those are levels I'm watching, the wave as well as a buy off this Darvis 2.0. Now, simultaneously, we're looking for follow through in Apple. And one of the main levels I'm looking for, and this will absolutely help the NQ buys that I'm watching, is a 157 break in Apple, breaking the 157 level. That would take out a Darvis level, a major psychological level, and it would basically get this market back to about a halfway point and just sort of break the sense, the visual that perhaps Apple is in a fresh downtrend. I'm long Apple from this zone down here. I think a break of 157 is fairly inevitable, and that is what I'm watching. Now, in the meanwhile, this is an acceptable support zone for Apple. I think as long as we can trade above essentially the 155 level, we're in good shape for more movement to the upside. Microsoft is already leading the way. It's taken off from our 73 buy. It's taken off from the 76 momentum level. And these are the kinds of moves, the kind of strength moves in the NAS that will help it continue higher. Here's a look at the Nasdaq and the top stocks that I watch to keep an eye on when and if we could bounce. What are psychological charts like Netflix, Priceline, Nvidia? What are heavier weighted names like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, and the Googles? You know, what are they telling me about what the Nasdaq could do? I am very bullish, and I'm going to be looking to buy on pullbacks. The 120-minute time frame is certainly part of that. Now, I'm also looking at some of the stronger names within the KWEB: BIDU, Baba, and Sina. Now, watching these names absolutely helps me understand what's going on in the tech landscape in the US. You know, these are some of the more intact uptrends within the Chinese internet ETF. So I don't mind buying some of the stronger names, but overall, the KWEB is definitely getting a little bit more lethargic and range bound. And I do think that bodes well for NASDAQ names. But remember, if KWEB starts strengthening a lot, just remember the NASDAQ could start tapping the brakes, and that will let you know when you need to tighten the reins and start to manage the profits you have a little bit more aggressively, okay? So keep an eye on that relationship between KWEB and NQ, and I'll see you in the next update.